Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Versace Pour Homme. Let's start with the appearance of the fragrance. I have the 3.4 ounce, which I have owned for a couple months now, and I've used a good bit of it. The bottle is really cool. You cannot ever go wrong with a clear glass bottle with colored juice. And I really like the silver accents and just the shape of the bottle in general. And the Versace logo right here, I think it's just a very iconic bottle, and Versace did a really good job designing it. This came out in 2008. You can get this thing off of most discounters at 3.4 ounces for around 35 bucks. So a very reasonable price for this fragrance. All right, now I'm gonna spray it and tell y'all what I smell. It has a very decent atomizer, honestly. All right, man, this is a very uplifting citrus bomb in the opening, super bright. Just makes you like awake and jubilant. It just smells so like citrusy, fresh, powerful. A little bit of sweetness in there because obviously citrus comes from fruits, so it's a little bit sweet too. And it's definitely aquatic as well. This stuff is super nice, really pleasing to the nose. I have no clue who wouldn't like this. I do know on some people's skin it does smell like rotten eggs, like aquatic notes do that. And on mine it does give a little bit of that tinge, but only if you get up super close like this. But honestly, just super nice lemony bergamot citrus opening with some nice aquatic musks. Really, really good. I really like this opening. This is super great for like working out at the gym or like playing basketball or just any sports really with your friends. This is super duper nice. And I also have the dry down spray to my arm I'm gonna smell. Yeah, it honestly gets kind of sweet. It gets like ambery and a little bit warm. Those musks come out more. You still have that kind of aquatic, bright, citrusy smell, but it's definitely dialed down. And it gets a little bit woody, a little bit sweet, maybe some tonka in there. Definitely some amber, definitely some musks. I'm a big fan of how this stuff smells all the way through its lifespan. Super duper nice smelling for sure. Now let's compare what I smell to the notes on Fragrantica. All right, I have the notes on Fragrantica pulled up. And this is what it says. In the top, lemon, bergamot, neroli, and rose de mai. Honestly, I definitely smell the lemon and bergamot. I think I mentioned that earlier. It's super duper bright and citrusy, and that lemon is just super prominent. But it's not in the same way that a lemon is prominent in like Club de Nuit Intense Man. It's a much more like fresh and realistic lemon. Obviously, it's not like super realistic, but it's more realistic than something like Club de Nuit Intense Man. And then bergamot, literally in every fragrance. You cannot escape the wrath of bergamot. And then neroli, I don't really know what neroli smells like. I really want to know at some point. I might buy like the Neroli Portofino cologne. But yeah, I don't really know what neroli smells like. But I'm pretty sure it's like a nice fresh floral smell, and I definitely get that in here. And then rose de mai, honestly, I don't really get any rose in this fragrance. You can probably do without that. Middle notes, it has hyacinth, which I don't know what that smells like. And then cedar, clear sage, and geranium. I definitely get the cedar. Gets a little bit woody, especially in that dry down. And then clary sage, I get a little bit of that, as well as the geranium. Geranium in most fragrances is used in the mid notes as sort of a mediator when you have like a citrusy opening to get into like a warmer, more ambery dry down. You have it in a fragrance such as Versace Eros, which is kind of similar to Versace Pour Homme in the way that it has like a citrusy opening and then has like a warmer tonka sort of dry down. So geranium doesn't necessarily have its own signature smell, but you can kind of smell when it is present because of the transformation between the opening and the base. And then in the base, it has tonka bean, musk, and amber, which I smell all three of those super prominent in the dry down. I'd say you still have that cedar in the dry down, and a little bit of that neroli and bergamot as well. Super nice, pleasing dry down for sure. I have no clue who wouldn't like this, to be honest. It's also very masculine. This is unmistakably a man's cologne. I would not expect to smell this on any woman, really. All right, now the performance of Versace Pour Homme. This is the downfall of this fragrance. It lasts 6 hours max. Closer to 4, maybe getting 5 depending on how much sprays you do. It just doesn't last very long. And that is just a big bummer to me because I really, really emphasize the importance of longevity on my fragrances. And I just really like the smell of this fragrance, but the fact that it doesn't last very long really limits the situations I can wear this in. There's just very few citrusy and aquatic fragrances that last long, and I guess that's just the harsh reality we live in. This thing is actually pretty strong in the opening though. For the first hour or so, you're definitely going to be projecting people are going to smell you, and then it's just slowly going to get closer and closer to your skin until it disappears around that 6 hour, maybe 5 hour mark. I recommend this honestly only for summer and spring. I would never really wear this in fall and winter. It definitely doesn't fit the vibe. This is just a very vibrant, summery, fresh, aquatic citrus fragrance, and I just would never want to wear this in the winter, if I'm gonna be honest. So now is time for my final rating out of 10 of Versace Pour Homme, and I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. It would definitely be closer to like an 8.5 if it had better, maybe 8-hour longevity, but because it lasts 6 hours max, I'm gonna have to stop it at a 7. Very, very good smelling, bright, citrusy, fresh aquatic fragrance. I know it's very popular, and it definitely deserves that hype, but just because of the performance, I can't rate it higher than a 7. I can recommend this to anyone who just wants a fresh, aquatic, citrus dumb grab fragrance, honestly. Works best, in my opinion, for going to the gym or playing sports. But you could wear this just like going to the grocery store, just running errands, specifically like in the summer and spring when it's warm. If you guys have any questions about Versace's Pour Homme or just any other fragrance questions in general, please do not hesitate to comment them down below. I would love to answer your questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.